What's the best thing to say if you walk in on your SO cheating on you? My brother was out to dinner with his girlfriend when a big dude grabbed him by the lapels, hauled him out of his seat and asked what he was doing with his girlfriend. Bro was like, "I've been dating this girl for 6 months." Dude was like, "I've been with her for 3 years." Bro looked at her. When she didn't deny it, he turned to the guy and said, "My bad, man. You got seniority," and walked away. Still the oddest cheating story I've ever heard. I walked in on this. Girlfriend looked panicked. The guy looked smug. That's what stood out to me. Just smirking at me and looking smug as fuck. I said, "She's your problem now," and walked out. They dated for 3 years and got engaged. A couple weeks before their wedding, my sister, who was friends with my ex's sister, texted me to let me know the wedding was off because my ex had fucked the groom's brother. Apparently cheater boy got back from his bachelor party early and walked in on her with his baby bro. My cousin came to my small college town and stayed with me. The first night I had shit to do, so he went out and got lucky. Got back to my place at dawn. Around noon we went out to grab something to eat. My girlfriend walked by the window. I was about to point her out to him when he pointed her out to me. Said, "That's the girl from last night." I didn't even know what to say. Just started laughing. Finally told him it was my girlfriend. He was very apologetic. Said, "I thought your girlfriend's name was Vanessa?" "It is," she told me her name was Janet. The fact that she'd used an alias, and Janet, of all names, got me laughing again. After a few seconds cousin was like, "I guess Eunice was taken," and got us cracking up again. I did walk in on this. The guy was hiding in the closet, crying like a bitch. He probably had 30 pounds on me, but he looked terrified as I grabbed his arm and steered him out of the apartment. Told my GF she had 30 minutes to get her shit and leave. She went on a 10-minute tirade about how this was a mistake, that we could work through it, and how I'd been too busy lately, etc., etc. I waited until she was done and said, 20 minutes. "Right, what's all this then? I hope you got the money in advance this time, sweetheart. Did she at least mention her herpes?" Turn to the person they're cheating with and say, "You can do so much better." A guy who I worked with was on the phone with his wife and she had thought she hung up. He could hear her having sex with his best friend over the phone. My ex cheated and the dude sent me pics. I went home, packed everything and left her with the apartment. She lost apartment. Had 3 kids with 3 different dads. Gained 200 pounds and last I heard was in jail. That was 7 years ago and I'm living life good now. Jesus, another? At this rate you're never going to get that infection to settle down. You guys started without me, was dropping off birthday flowers to her house, so she'd see them on the table when she got home. She was banging her ex-BF on said table, and I just said, "Damn, all I brought her was flowers." I set them down, took her key off the ring, and went back to work. "You cheated on me?" When I specifically asked you not to? Not the most PC way to handle it, but my first comment was sarcastically stated while looking at the other woman. I'm surprised it's a woman. Being celibate for 6 of 12 years because he lost interest can do this to a brain. In the end, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I moved into a motel that day and have been gone for 6 years now. It's funny. Each of these stories starts out as a story about heartbreak and betrayal by the person most important to you. Then, over time, they morph into a story of relief. This whole thread attests to the theory that when you catch a partner in the act of cheating and end it, with time, you will look back on it and think, boy, all things considered, this wound up being a lucky break. Opens door and sees SO and random dude cousin added asterisk. This a bad time to talk about the STD we have. Came home from work early, opened our bedroom door to it, already had my ass kicked from the day. Grabbed my casual clothes and was like, "You'll finish up, I'm heading out." Went back to the bar I worked at and just reflected on life. Next day when I got back, I slept in my Jeep in the parking lot. She tried playing it off. WW went for a drive, didn't say anything. She exploded and said it's my fault I'm never home and listed how I need to fix myself. Pulled over, told her to get out of my car, went back, got my meager belongings and cat, and moved in with my sister's guest room till I got my shit together. To add, I dropped her off 30+ miles from her apartment. Don't mind me, I'm just looking for the divorce papers. Didn't walk in on it, but years ago one ex told me she was cheating and was so guilt-ridden about it that she had to tell me. We weren't living together or anything but had been dating, I thought exclusively, for several months. I got my jacket and left. Never said a word, never called her back despite 3 months of her trying to call me. I saw her last year, it had been about 30 years. She crossed the street to come see me. I walked away without a word, with her yelling after me to talk to her in front of the whole street.